In this video, we're going to talk about why your woman may leave you for another man. In fact, all it is when your woman leaves you for another man, all she's doing is just the next stage past I just am not in love with you anymore, which is the stage past I am not really that attracted to you anymore. And I've been trying to figure this out with you for a long time, but you're not getting the picture, and so I've closed myself off to you emotionally. And so the game of another man coming into the picture, it's not the other man's fault. 9 times out of 10, it's not the other guy that was even part of the issue. In fact, I have not seen an issue where a guy has successfully seduced a woman away from her husband where the woman wasn't actively seeking it already. Most men are very apologetic. They don't hold certainty or dominance in their life. They're not really in control of their own mental state. They're not in control of their life. They don't know how to be magnanimous. They don't know how to be strong and quiet at the same time. They think that being powerful and dominant is to yell and call names and just be this guy who is forceful on people. You see, dominance, the game of seduction, is an invitation. It is an enticement. And women are the pursuers in a relationship. And so if you're trying to pursue, you're trying to force your woman to like you, you're trying to get her gifts, trying to do more around the house, trying to be more understanding, trying to do all these things to force the issue, you're not playing the right game. And this is why it's not working for you. So if you're in this place where your wife wants to leave you, and you're sitting here trying to have conversations, take her to marriage counselings and talk about why your communication isn't working, I'm telling you, it's not going to matter. All you're doing is putting a situation down where she has more excuses for why she should leave you. He's not helpful. He's only doing it now because he knows I'm leaving. I go to the marriage counselor and we triangulate against him, and then we talk about all his problems and why he's just not a good husband. And you're sitting here killing yourself, trying to do more and more and more, trying to make her love you again. You're like, I don't understand why she doesn't love me. It's because she's not feeling the attraction for you. She's not feeling the in-love feelings. And when the in-love feelings are there and they're strong and dominant, she will do anything in her power to protect and safeguard the relationship. There won't be room for another guy. So when your woman's not wanting sex from you, when your woman has a dead bedroom and she's just giving you, like, I got a headache, and she's not really paying that much attention to you, and she takes a long time to answer your texts and stuff, she's just not that interested in you. And women will sit in this place for years planning their exit strategy until they finally find somebody else. Or they decide that they're just completely out of love with them, and she's like, I don't love you anymore. And the guy's like, well, I can fix it. I can do some different things. And at this point, it's too late. She's already put all the nails in that coffin like 6 months or 3 years prior. She was just biding her time for the right time to execute her exit strategy. But in this video, we're going to talk about another man. So the brutal reality is she just doesn't feel you. And there's 2 places that you're maybe lacking in your relationship. One is dominance. You just aren't that sexy anymore because you're not exhibiting dominant behavior in your life and over your marriage and over your life in general. And it doesn't mean to dominate her. It just means powerful and certain in who you are. Like, you can see how I act in these videos. You can see that I have power and certainty in my life, and I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm not going to let people fuck around with me. Or the game of connection, where you could be just abdicated responsibility completely. You're just not connecting with her at all. Maybe you're focusing on your business, which is what a lot of guys do, especially high-performing guys. They don't have a problem with the dominance. They have a problem with the connection. And so this is where you'll see her get with the trainer at the gym and some guy like yoga instructor or something, or like a coworker who she opens up to, and she has a conversation and she feels connection from him, and then she'll think that she's in love with him. And so what will end up happening is whatever she's missing, she's going to go towards. If you've not been dominant, you've been this nice guy, people-pleasing, approval-seeking guy, chasing after your wife's sex the whole time, putting her on a pedestal, making your wife your life, then this game of dominance is where she's going to be lacking. And so she never upgrades. Like, there's this whole concept of hypergamy where the woman always wants to trade up. And while that is true, I have yet to see it in infidelity. Typically, women are not cheating on an upgrade. They're cheating for what they're missing in their marriage. And it's usually very one-dimensional. So if she's missing this power in her relationship, she'll get with a guy who exhibits power, but his rest of his life's a fucking mess. This is why guys lose their minds. Like, I've got everything. I can provide everything. I'm everything. And like, this guy's a loser. Why is she getting with him? It's like, yeah, well, he's giving her that one thing you're lacking, which is the sexiness. Or if you're this husband who just is not connecting with his wife at all, and you're out there just dominating in the world, then she finds a guy that she talks to and can actually connect with. She's going to think that she's in love with him. And make no mistake, after about a year or so, the guy's going to be a super nice guy, and the attraction is going to wane. She's going to want to come back. If you get any of this handled, your woman always comes back. She always knocks on the door and sees where you're at like 6 months later, which we know how to do this. We've planned this out. We know exactly what the woman's going to do. At this point, it's just patterns. Like, we've had so many guys come through the Soul Seducer program that it's just patterns at this point. We know like how fast it's going to take you to get over your emotional pain. We know how fast it's going to take you to start firing on all cylinders again. We know how fast it's going to take you to actually start dominating in life. And we know pretty much to the month or to the week when your wife's going to reach out and see what you're doing, see if you actually made any real changes. And if you did, well, then you have a second chance. If you didn't, well, then she's done for good. My name is Ed Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. I've coached thousands of men, tens of thousands of men who come through my doors in one form or another. I've had over 3,000 guys come through the Betrayed to Badass program. And that's what we do. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your children. So let's just get into this in a little more detail. So the first reason is she just stopped feeling attraction for you. Either attraction or connection, and they're very intrinsically linked. So your woman's attraction for you has to be, it's rooted in her ability to see you as dominant in the world, be powerful in the world. This means you have to have strong boundaries. This means you have to be able to lead your relationship. This means you have to take her on an adventure of life. Not that you are building an adventure for her. No, that's approval seeking. It's you in your life is an adventure that she wants to be a part of. Or she's missing connection. In other words, you're not really being able to talk to her very much. You're not really diving into her world. You're just assuming that she's taking care of things and the kids, and you're just not really that checked into what's happening and dialed into her and the family. Most guys make the mistake of thinking that's the issue. I'll tell you, 90% of the time, dominance is the issue. It's not connection. And all guys, when a relationship falls apart and his wife's cheating on him, he's like, we got to talk about we need to double down on connection. It's like, no, motherfucker, you're weak as hell. You don't need more connection. The problem is she cheated on you and there's no consequence. There's no fuck around, find out energy. Your wife cheated on you and you're sitting here like, baby, we can make it work. You just showed her that you got no fucking backbone. Are you out of your mind? She's expecting you to be like, and she wants you to be like, hey, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm not putting up with this. So most guys have no power in the relationship because as soon as the wife cheats on him, what he does is like, oh, we can fix this. We can fix it. I'll be a better man. I'll prove myself to her. I'll show her that things are different. It's like, dude, the time for understanding is over. If your woman cheats on you, you don't need to understand her. She needs to understand you. And this is the problem, is most guys are not willing to stand up for themselves or what they want or their needs or desires or anything. And so what ends up happening is their entire life becomes the wife. Make her happy. And then from her perspective, she's like, man, this motherfucker's got nothing going on except for me. He's not doing anything in the world. I move, I blink, whatever happens, I get emotional, he's right up my ass trying to fix the problem. And then so she's like, I need space. It's like, no wonder. You can't even fucking breathe without this guy like, here, baby, I got something for you. And then so he's not showing any kind of dominance in the world. She can't follow that guy. That guy's completely following her like a lost puppy with puppy dog eyes. That is sickening to a woman. She doesn't want to see that shit. She wants to see a guy who's powerful. This is why guys are like, well, women like jerks. No, they just like dominant dudes. They like guys who actually go out there and make shit happen. That aren't so worried about her fucking emotions all the time and gives her enough room to breathe and be herself. Like, guys are always trying to fix her problems. And it's condescending. Like, she's a grown-ass woman. She can fix her own problems. You don't need to save her. She's not a victim. She's a grown-ass human being, and you coming in there doing this is what's killing all the attraction. And the second part is because you're all up in her business, she's got no chase. Remember, women are the pursuers in a relationship. If you're all up in her business, she's not chasing you. There's no game. There's no play. There's no seduction that she can do. All she can do is just stand there, and then you do everything. It's like, does this woman bring anything to the table other than her looks or other than her approval? And for most women, they don't. Why? Because guys keep doing this. Let me just throw shit at you to make you like me. It's like, while he goes out there and does all this stuff in the world, makes himself powerful and amazing, and then a beautiful woman comes around and he's like, well, that's all she needs. It's like, what? Yeah, no wonder you don't have a good relationship. Your bar is so low, you don't require anything in your relationship from your woman. She just has to be there. And of course, you're going to find somebody who's going to take advantage of that. Why wouldn't they? That's a free lunch. It's a free ride. And then you're like, well, then she took me for everything I was worth. Yeah, because that's what you offered her. You offered her all your gifts and cash and prizes for a little bit of her beauty and sex. So of course she's going to take it when she leaves. This is what you asked for. Don't be surprised that this is what she wants when she wants to leave you. And so the third reason is she doesn't respect you. See, if a woman cannot respect you, she will not find you attractive. And if she doesn't find you attractive, she's not going to be in love with you because these things are intrinsically connected. The greatest thing that a woman wants to have in her life is a great lover. And a great lover means that this guy has his shit together. This guy doesn't let her dominate and run the relationship. This guy doesn't let her manipulate him. And this guy knows what he wants, and he's going after what he wants. He's not asking for fucking permission. And so if she can't respect the guy, then she's not going to be attracted to him because he's not exhibiting dominance and power. He's exhibiting weakness and apologetic behavior. And so he does not necessarily have to be an asshole to do this, although some guys who are assholes do get a lot of women. You don't have to be that way. You can be magnanimous and awesome, but also powerful in your being. And this is what she wants. She wants to see a guy who can move through society in a healthy way, but also exhibits dominance and power. And then in her relationship, he also exhibits it there too, while also keeping in mind what's going on with her. He's not just being a dictator, laying it down and not listening to her at all. She's a co-pilot. And so what ends up happening is she'll start testing you. She'll start throwing things at you. Little jab here, little snide comment, bad tone of voice, to see if you'll rise up and actually do something about it. Most of the time they won't, which just infuriates her and makes her even more angry, which then she goes and says, well, he doesn't care about me at all. And then she'll start doing more and more and more of it. And he's like, I'm just trying to keep the peace. I don't really understand what's happening here. And it's like, yeah, it's because you've turned off your anger and frustration, and you, instead of using that to put the axe to that bullshit, you just allow it to keep continuing. He's like, well, it's not worth it. She just never gives up. But she never, yeah, because you're not really addressing the root issue of your lack of power. And so she keeps hammering it and hammering it and hammering it and hammering it till hopefully she can feel you rise up and do something about it. And you getting angry and screaming is not the solution. Getting angry and screaming at your kids isn't the solution. Why would it be that way to your wife? No, quiet resolution is all she needs. She just needs resolution. Where are we going and what are we doing? Yep, we're not doing that, we're doing this. Nope, not putting up with that. If you want to have a relationship with me, that's great, but you're not going to do that. If you continue to do that, we're not going to have a relationship. It's just that simple. It's very easy, it's very clear, and she'll try to complicate it because she wants power and control. And if you're with a woman who's constantly vying for power and control with you, just realize you're with probably an insecure woman who needs to have this to feel safe in her life. And so you're going to constantly have to put this in check. And typically when this happens over and over and over again, it's not going to be a healthy relationship. It's not a relationship of love and understanding. It's a power struggle game. And so if you're with somebody who's in this power struggle game, just realize it doesn't matter how dominant or powerful you are. You're just with somebody who just wants to sabotage the relationship a lot because they are insecure and they need to feel in control, which means they have to feel like they're in control of you so they don't feel like you're going to leave them. So they don't feel like they're going to be abandoned by you. And this is where you come up with a lot of narcissism and a lot of borderline bipolar are playing this game with you. And so a lot of these cluster B personalities, they cannot have a healthy adult relationship because they're playing that game. I need to control this man so that I can feel safe and secure in my relationship because I'm afraid deep down that I'm not valuable and he's going to leave me anyway. So I have to keep him under heel to keep him here. Unfortunately, on the flip side of that, because she does this and she makes this happen, it makes you weak in her eyes. So then the attraction starts to wane, and then because she expects you to make her feel attracted, she blames you for the relationship falling apart. Well, it's your fault the relationship fell apart. You're doing it. You're doing all these terrible things, and then you keep trying to do these things, which also demonstrates your weakness, which means her attraction keeps plummeting. And then because her attraction for you is gone, she has no empathy towards you as a man. And so she'll just find another guy to replace you. And you're like, well, how could she do this to me? Well, this is how she operates. If someone's in a power struggle with me in the dating phase, I just let them go. There's no point. I can understand her very well, and I understand women very well, and the psychology going on. And just because it's people in general, like once you understand people's psychology, you can understand how they're doing and their intrinsic motivations, their insecurities, their fears and doubts, and their hopes and dreams, and you get to know what that is, and you can read people very quickly when it comes to that, which makes you a great coach. But at the same time, you can see where they're doing. Are they going to double down on delusion of being a power struggle, or are they going to come to the light and say, oh yeah, I see what's happening here, and apologize and move forward? If they double down on delusion, then the only solution at that point is just to let them go. Why? Because if you let it go, if you capitulate, then what you tolerate, you encourage, and you're just asking for more of it down the road. So if she doubles down on the power and struggle game, then just know that the relationship was doomed to fail anyway, so you might as well just end it now. So that's what you should do. Just end it right now. There's no point in having a second date. So reason number 5 your woman might leave you is she sees the other guy as an upgrade. Typically, this is not the case. is very rare. Usually if the woman's in a dating phase, she'll do this, but if she's locked in with you, she's married to you, very rarely she's gonna find a guy that's better than you. What she'll end up doing is find a guy who has more of the dominance or more of the connection, and then she'll go after that. It's very one-dimensional. And she'll think that that's the thing that she wants more than anything, and she'll get this sense of like, oh, this guy must be my soulmate, because I haven't felt this way in 25 years, and now my sex is turned on, and this is amazing, and I feel like I have this freedom. And so it's like a drug to her, and she's gonna go. So the affair is like a drug. She'll act like a drug addict to be with this guy, and she'll rewrite your entire history in order to justify her actions. She'll villainize you, telling you that you're a terrible person. She'll tell everybody how horrible you are just to justify her actions, because she knows what she's doing is wrong. And she knows that everybody else knows what she's doing is wrong. So she has to justify it to other people. He was abusive, he wasn't there, we were disconnected, we were never really should have been together, I should have been with this guy. I made a mistake with my husband, but this is the real, true, right thing to do. And so what she'll do is she'll do all these games just to justify what she's doing. And when you play into that game, you lose. Guys will get all upset, like, I can't believe she's getting with this guy. He's a piece of crap. He's a drug dealer, or he's a personal trainer. He's got nothing going on with his life. He's broke, and this guy is a successful entrepreneur. I don't understand why she'd want him. It's just for that reason. There's one dimension that she's not getting, and this guy was able to give it to her in that way. And so we can get around all of this stuff. We can prevent all this from happening. In fact, we can turn you around into the kind of guy who does not let this happen to him in his life. In fact, we can make you an absolute seducer in the department of your relationships. And remember, seduction is an invitation. It's not a force. It's not a forceful endeavor. So we don't need a bunch of tips and tricks and tactics to try to trick her into getting to be with us. We don't need a lot of special, how do we be with our language, and how do I send a text message, and when's the right time to reach out, how much isolation do I give her, I go no contact for how many weeks, and then I do this one powerful statement and she's gonna magically come back, or I need to be bulletproof and I need to reset my marriage and all that. It's all a bunch of tactical bullshit, and these guys don't know what they're talking about at all. At all. I know, because every other program out there comes to the Soul Seducer program, and we turn it around, and guys are, thank God that they did come here. And we've had every single one. We know it because we get guys every day. We get like 50 to 100 guys every month coming into the Soul Seducer program. It's not a small operation at all. I've had thousands of guys come through here. I work with everybody personally. If you want to know how to be a Soul Seducer, turn your life around really fucking quick by changing how you operate so that you attract women, you seduce women through invitation instead of trying to do all these tactics and chasing after. I mean, aren't you tired of chasing after your wife? She's cheating on you, you're chasing after. I know that's fucking maddening. I know it's frustrating. But I know you're at the end of your rope. You got kids, you got a marriage, you don't want to break the family apart, you want to be a good father, you want to keep them together. I get it. But I can tell you, if you keep going down this road, you're going to teach your kids to do what you're doing, which is to be weak, which is to not lead the family, which is to seek the approval of women, to chase after sex, to not get enough sex, to not get enough intimacy. Or you could turn yourself into the kind of guy who is deeply appreciated by his woman, who is completely devoted to by his woman, and who she desires him sexually. And if you are the leader in your relationship, she will take accountability. Has your wife ever taken accountability? Have you ever seen a woman in your life ever take accountability? Probably not, because there's a lot of weak men out there who aren't really worth taking accountability for. In other words, if she doesn't want to lose you, she will take accountability. If she doesn't care about losing you, she's not going to take accountability. It's just that simple. And so if you're the kind of guy that she doesn't want to leave, she will do anything to be with you. She will move heaven and earth. She will change herself. She will solve her problems. And all your relationship problems will magically disappear. You'll be like, Ed, I don't understand it. Where did our problems go? It's like you started operating differently. So now you're the prize. Now she wants to be with you. So if you want to learn how to do that, Soul Seducer is the game for you. Anyways, if you want to know more about that, the link is in the description below. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you want to be notified when the other ones come up, and I'll see you in the next one.